Amen. Good morning, church. Today we conclude our sermon on the Grand Sunday. I know that many people were not around, perhaps. If you are not around, let me squeeze your hand last Sunday. So we have met a number of people. We'll try to catch up a bit and hope God will help us. Remember, our topic is what is your investment option? And our text is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 24. Basically, then again, we are going to usher into an next week from tomorrow. Isn't that right? And I'm so privileged to stand for your presence to speak. And I will talk a bit about the awareness, and I think it's quite relevant to what we do. What is your investment option? Again, I want us to be in one text. So if you could just look at the screen and not open your Bible, if you feel compelled to open your Bible, please read New Living Translation so that we can have it together. So we'll read again. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 24. Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroy, and where thieves do not break and steal. For where your heart is, there your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is not good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the darkness that is in you, the light that is in you is darkness, how great is darkness? No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and not the other, or else he will serve to the one and despise the other. Not serve God and last week we made a very clear start about it's possible to serve God, it's possible to serve man, but it is not possible to serve God. We're not going to go back to that. Let's start with say where it is not evil. And I think this is the sensation that Christians went there and said last week. There is nothing wrong with wealth, there is nothing wrong with luxury, nothing wrong with comfort, there is nothing wrong with having property. Yesterday, I was looking at the owner of the airpiece and airline, and I was like, how could one man, where were we guys? One man would just have, you know what it means to buy just one aircraft? I think that they don't got one aircraft about something billion, like billion, not talking about billion. I'm not saying billion, and one man just get out billions, you know? So wealth is not so easy. We can't say a man should provide for his family, take care of your family. Do well to give your family very good trade, your wife, your children, your husband, and you know, if you don't spend and enjoy this life, what else are you going to do with your money? Because this is what is here. That is all. When you die, everything is in place. You know, and so one I only have argument with my children, and one of the arguments we have is go and buy something, and when I buy, I just enjoy myself. They will tell me that why are you doing this? My father died, I'm eating pizza today. Me, I will not do that this day. My father was suffering because of me. So when I die, I'm going to be using pizza later. I want to eat my pizza before. So those of you who know, enjoy yourself. Because this is when we die, we enjoy. I mean, when my father is dead, my mother is dead, I want to help. So enjoy my class. If you see one fine suit wear, one fine should just wear, you must help these things. For those of you who don't have money, let me give you a formula. My wife and I used to do it, I think 2003, 4, 5, 2003, 4, 5. We are really, really broke. And when I say broke, I really mean broke. We only have food, me and Kakashi, and then we're not taking on it. I'm just told me and Kakashi. I know one good thing that God has made wonderfully great, me and Kakashi, that even without money, He is sweet. So you don't have to. And the first place to stay was at 8. Those of you who know at 8, you can go and buy your first stock at 11 o'clock. And they are still selling. very late. So they are waiting for them. When we get money like 20,000, we have a mix of 50,000, 60,000, we get it. I say, don't talk. Just one budget. Just one. Let's eat. Don't analyze anything we have. Let's enjoy for something. Because the tomorrow you are talking about is today. You don't have control of today. It's today you have control. So enjoy today because you don't even know whether it's there. Plan for the future. Build houses. You can do whatever you can to secure the future. It's much. But like we said, at the very beginning, commence us to enjoy. Honestly speaking, those of you who know me know I like enjoyment. There is something that's beautiful. And as my enjoyment is actually way, I like being in the room and looking it up. I travel to Kenya, for instance. I want to be in the room and not go out. I'm not the guy who wants to go to the safari. But another is just to have this fire, barbecue, of course. In those days, the bottle of coke, there was something like a little of coke. Unfortunately, I had to stop because of my head. And you know how a chill coke will look like inside the greens, very perfect greens. You know what it looks like? Man, you have no idea. Well, it's a bit. Yeah, so, but we said last week that in all these things, investment matters to God. And that is why the Bible says, lay not of yourself precious heavenly heart, but lay of yourself precious. We did say last week that Jesus spoke about money than about any other subject. Why? Because when it comes to man's true nature, money is of course important. And let me tell you, if you really want to understand, and I wish you didn't think about this, I will talk to you. I wish the secretary would give you the name of the past, if you can, and get the attendance. Do some maths, and you see where you have to be watching. It's like I have the name of last week. Which was professional. Like just the offering, not the tithes of the rest. Then we have money is of course important. So all through scripture, money is an exact index to the man's group. All through scripture, always an intimate correlation between the development of one's character and how he handles his money. Money is very, very great. If people wake up in the morning, money is something that they keep looking for all your life. It's the biggest temptation of life. There are three temptations: power, sex, money. A child of 5 or 7 doesn't care about power, right? And doesn't care about sex. A man of 85, 90 doesn't care about power. This comes to some of them do absolutely. But at 100 they don't care about power. And then they don't care. Every single time of your life from age 5, if not less, till you die. How many of you have these old grandmothers and grandparents? They are not doing anything with money, but they have this family idea. They don't even know what to do with this money, and they just want until they die. Money is the biggest temptation of life. And I tell you that if you don't fortify yourself, everybody is money. Believe me, without money, not come out. Every single day we have money. The cream we wear, the soap we bath with, everything is money. And those who know me know that I talk about money a lot. And like we saw last week, the Bible talks about money more than it talks about faith, salvation, heaven, and hell combined. So we can't ignore that. And we also saw that there is an intimate correlation between money and salvation. We saw the young ruler because of his money, but because the moment where your heart is, where your treasure, your money is, your heart will go there. And we saw how mammon influenced us last week. We said the mammon influenced us in 5 ways. Why? We said the need for material life. We want you to begin to look for material things. And we are all having this question. Who doesn't want the house? Who wants to die and live with children in his family? Who wants to not have the good things of this life? Nobody. The chances are that what mammon does to you, even though these things are not wrong, what it does to you is that it inflates it so that you are so busy trying to keep these things and you forget about investing in God. The second we said personal what? Esteem and value. You feel good when it dries and when it dries, you operate well. No, last time I told you my credit card is an escalator.
I forgot to tell you that I have a second prayer. And if it can happen, I want an SUV that has only 2 seats. You know what it means? When you come out of your RV, just blow up the roof and just drive. This is cold weather of choice. No, you have this mood you are taking in the car. I went to the book now, so I just drive very comfortable. You have fuel, you have money in your pocket, you have a good balance in your account, 6 inches balance in your account, and you come back and nothing is going on. Sweet life, But as you do that, people gives you. Those of you who have money, those who have money, they go to the bank, they don't join line. It's sweet, let me tell you. Each time I go to the bank, you know what happens? They open the door for me. I will not join line for just 3 nights. It gives you this feeling of importance. It happens to all of us, right? We have a commissioner here. I would say, please, commissioner, come. You have this feeling. It's a director of government. Wonderful. So come on. It's nice, right? So, and then we have power. Power gives us control over our own faith. Faith of others, where we can have get what we want. Let me tell you, all those of us who don't have money, these rich people are not there enjoying. There is something sweet about having money. Get things done very fast. And let me tell you, if you are poor, you pay more for services. It is more expensive when you don't have money than when you do have money. Let me give you an example. How much is a crate? How much? I think it's about 3. How much is a man? So 150 times 30. 1,000. So a poor man doesn't have money to buy a crate of egg. He buys 1 piece. By the time he eats that, he's paying 4,000. Is it 4,000? 4,500. Instead of 3,500, he's losing 1,000. If you don't have money to buy a cow or a goat, instead of you to buy a goat, go and buy a lamb tomorrow, a lamb next tomorrow, you buy a lamb. By the time you finish buying a whole goat, you would have paid twice the price of 1 goat. It's not even cheaper. And you know one thing, even when you are buying groundnut on the street, they say 1 is 20 naira, 3 is 15 naira. That concept should tell them it's not even safe not to have money. Because when you don't have money, you are going to spend more. Because if you buy 1 groundnut, 20 naira, you go back and buy another one, that is 16 naira. But the one that has 15 naira, you can buy 3, it has a discount of 15 naira. How many of you know that a big house is cheaper in rent than a small house? Are you there? Now, you go and rent a house, 250. Say 1 small toilet, 1 small bathroom, and then one bathroom that you put your pocket and you start doing that. And then you pay 450. And then the other person said there is a 3-bedroom with dining area, with guest toilet, and 700,000 naira. Now, calculate the money we see. 3 big rooms, 1 dining, 1 big parlor, 1 big kitchen. This is cheaper. The more money you have, the more life becomes easier. In fact, if you don't have money, you go to the market and start buying things. If you have money and you have a car, they meet you on the road and say, "Oh, God, please buy this thing." They are making your life easy, taking you transport to the market. How did you get that? So it's not to make money, it gives you wealth. Independence, with wealth, we can be our own gods and not rely on anyone else. Unfortunately, subconsciously, this includes God. This was what we studied last week. Then we said it also gives you pleasure. Pleasure, with wealth, you can indulge on every fantasy. Whether it's an exotic vacation, you know what it means to travel for holiday, take your children out, and take them to Bacardi. Those families who take your children to take you really have money. Complete 18,000, 7,000. But the meal is good actually, and when you go there, you see where many eat they are sitting. But that is about what they eat, so they don't feel the pain. So which branch you can have it? Now the question we ask that, what is this Mammon spirit? We said that Mammon spirit is a spirit entity that lives in the spirit realm, and this spirit realm is God. It's a very great realm to God. And we said Mammon The mammon spirit that creates a growing up between God's kingdom and the world system. And so, how mammon influences us? When the Bible says, "Stop, not offer yourself treasures on earth," we need to understand. So let's go back this morning and establish what is Jesus Christ talking about when he says treasures. Because the Bible is always in context. And the context is that when Jesus Christ is speaking, or any Bible character is speaking, he's speaking to the audience of that day. And they understand what he's talking about. He understands and they understand. For instance, if I say, I went from radio to Paris, and I entered one chance car, automatically all of you understand. But before this language came to be, if you ask somebody who died and brought him today and say one chance, it will be beautiful. If you bring somebody from another country and talk about one chance, it will be beautiful. So when we say one chance, you and I understand what we are talking about. If you say collage, we understand what we are talking about, right? I got collated when I was walking on the street. Well, some of you maybe don't understand what is collage, right? Who doesn't understand what is collage? Okay, some of you don't understand. You don't talk to young people. That is why the young people that say, "Oh, come close to us," you hear what they know. Now, or if we say 419, all these things, and so the Bible, Jesus Christ was speaking to an audience, and when he said, "Don't throw up treasures," what does he mean? Let's look at what he means. This is what he means. He's saying that don't keep the land, don't keep the housing, don't keep the cattle, don't keep the gold, don't keep the silver, don't keep the manservant, don't keep the maidservant. These are the treasure of those days. He's saying that do not keep them here on earth. Do not waste your resources on these things here on earth. The value of keeping these things is dangerous, because if you do, your mind will be on earth and not in heaven. Don't forget, Jesus is not saying don't do these things that we establish, but he's saying that be very careful. Because as you begin to buy property and build houses, chances are that your heart is not in heaven and you will not be able to God. This is the awareness. Let's look at what is relevant to us. Land is relevant to us, housing is relevant to us, cattle is relevant to us, gold is relevant to us, silver to us, servant and manservant are not relevant to us. But we have stocks, we have bonds, we have shares, we have all kinds of investment that we have today that are very relevant to us. And the Bible is saying that as you do that. So what does it mean? It means that it might mean that I don't have to sell my house if I have 5. Or I can either give 3 as you are rounding up your life, begin to share it and probably say, "Church, please have this house," or give the rent for that house. Then begin to use it to serve God. And I know people doing it even here. I know people who are doing that. They have investment, and the process of that investment goes to missions. I know people who are doing it here. Now, and this is surprising because honestly, if we take this, chances are that, and I work with ECWA for many years, chances are that there is not one ECWA member, or there is just only 5% of ECWA member who are close. Think, ask yourself, if you have sown anything equivalent to this in God's kingdom, at any time of your life, the house you built, you have the equivalent amount in God's kingdom. We ever do this. Now let me tell you what we do. This is what we do. Money. We bring money to God. Now, money is not wealth. It is a fruit of the wealth, a character of wealth, and not treasure. Now, God is not asking us for a mango fruit, He's asking you for a mango tree. One of the most stupid things we do in ECWA is harvest Thanksgiving, and we have a committee to that. And it is the biggest hand ECWA member gives. And you see somebody with 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and he comes. When you do that, it is your highest gift in earth. You cannot in the category of being of treasure in heaven at all. Because God is not asking for the fruit, He's asking for the tree. While all the way you help back the tree, and you are only giving Jesus Christ the fruits. That was the case with a young rich ruler. God realized, Jesus Christ realized that this man was only plucking down the mango trees and giving to God, but he held back all the mango trees. And Jesus Christ is saying, no, that is not what I want. What I want from you is the tree, and not the fruits. I know it's funny that the party from the pastor of this church, and you come with 100,000 on the day of harvest Thanksgiving for 200,000 I will praise you. But I'm only limited because they say in the city of the blind, the man with one eye is a king. Because most people will come, they will with 20,000, 10,000, you come with 100,000 or something praise. But honestly speaking, it's not. But yeah, it's not. Who will establish that in the course of this discussion? What about those who don't have this access, especially students and applicants? We have students, we have applicants, we have low income earners. What is their treasure? Maybe the only treasure this young lady have is that 60,000 naira hair she bought. Have we ever seen the equivalent of that money before? Or maybe it's the handset, that A52 you bought that Samsung is your treasure. Have you sold that equivalent to God? I know one of the most heartbreaking things that you hear from applicants and students, we don't have money. When it comes to God, we don't have money. Offering, we don't have money. We don't have people, we don't have money. But you know one thing, this category of people, and you really need to be careful. They know how to make their hair. They know how to get a charge card. They know how to get light jeans. They know how to fix their handset. They know how to buy handsets. But when it comes to giving to God, they don't know how to do it. They know which company to call when they want to buy a handset. They know which auntie to call when they want to make hair. They know which boy to call when they want to make their hair. But they don't know who to call when it comes to God. They have no idea. They walk up here with 50 naira or 100 naira, and they look at God and he's swatting in the face and telling God that I'm an applicant. But God knows every single day meet your needs through your uncles and parents, and you have ignored him. Isn't that? Are we together? So, when money is raised to the world system, it becomes what mammon. The mammon spirit that influences money also towards riches. We do this by trusting our riches in cash, stocks, properties, and bonds. Once we start processing this thing, they become our treasure. And once this happens, our hearts go to them. And so you spend the rest of your life just saying that happens. You know, have you seen a man married, 3 kids, having a good job, his wife has a car, and so this man is settled, even if he dies today. I mean, even if he's that is man. But subconsciously, your eyes will go in the equation. So they God. What is this treasure in heaven? What is this treasure? Last week we didn't see that. So let's look at the treasure. It includes power. So there is power in heaven. The Bible says, well done. The king said, you will go over 5 cities. How many of you know that how heaven is going to look like? Let me digress this out of the context. I think I have some time. And let me digress it. How many of you know how heaven will be? So this is heaven. How many of you know you're not going anywhere by the way? This is where heaven is. After everything, your government, Jesus Christ will come and be the president of this world, and he will dwell in Israel. The immediate cabinet of his will be the disciples of Jesus Christ. And then we who are serving with purpose, it's going to be a government like ours. I can't describe it. So I will use clumsy language to describe what it is. It's going to be similar to what we have. We have the pastor, we have the local government chairman, we have everyone. I'm not saying it's going to be in the same exact order. But you see, your works are the one that will give you position in heaven. It won't give you salvation, but it will give you what position in heaven. And do you know what it means it's going to be a Christian? One day, when you appear before Jesus Christ, you know when you die, just appear before and then before God. And God will look at you like this and say, hey, Wahabo is here. The devil will say, Wahabo has been a very stupid man. He's committed 10 abortions. The devil doesn't forgive. He doesn't forgive. He will say committed 10 abortions in his life, and then he has done this, and so say, wow, he's changed. And then Jesus Christ, God said, Jesus, where are you? He said, abortion place, Daddy. He said, somebody just came in. That his name is Wahabo. And the devil will say, look at this. And he's even stayed with the Lord. Just before he had committed sin. And he didn't even have time to repent. And Jesus Christ will come and say, this is Wahabo. And And he said, okay, why is it there? He said, look at it here. Look at the mess. And he will tell God, he said, even that I paid for. All God. And so if you go to the next, that's a sensor. There is a sensor that you see with your remote commander. You see, there is a sensor that comes as you are approaching that door, and then you come to a point, and then Jesus Christ says, stop there. And then you say, let me see whether you can. And then there is this sensor, and that in front of you is judgment, and God and Jesus Christ presses that sensor. And if you are a child of God, there is this seal on your head. And that is because you see Jesus Christ, the only criteria for you to get to heaven. And you know what it means? As soon as I press that sensor, and something will say, and then it will just start flying from up, and we pass judgment into life. How glorious. This is what we are doing. And eternity, you are going to be here for eternity. You know how eternity is? Like my first degree is linguistics, my second degree is linguistics. So I try to understand what is eternity. And no human mind can capture this eternity. But I'll give you a clumsy example. Only the highest we spend here is 120 years. Do spend 120 years with God heaven. Or you never know. Let me tell you what is eternity. You know the city of Jos? Look at the ground of the city of Jos. From here to this alley, where do you go? They ask you every year, pick one piece of grain of sand, just one. And put it out until all the sand in Jos is finished. Even that cannot describe eternity. One grain of sand per year, take one grain and put it in Jama roundabout until all the sand from Boku to the Abbey is exhausted. It is what we are playing with. Is that deep? It's very, very deep. Let's move on. The time is possession, it's power, so there is power level. Jesus told you, if you want to be perfect, go sell for your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Even in heaven, there is treasure. Let me tell you, if you don't, how many of you have houses in heaven? How many of you have cars in heaven? There is treasure in heaven, and the only condition for you to get that treasure, honestly, is by putting the money you think qualifies for a house. You cannot build a house of 20 million and you do not have a house of 1 million naira in heaven. There is treasure in heaven, make no mistakes about it. Are we there? There is possession. So there is possession in heaven. I mean, there is pleasure also in heaven. Yeah, you will enjoy the way of life. Grant me a job, pleasure of living. You know, I don't really like heaven too much on how Bible is studied. Have problems with God, but I understand that the Bible says no human eye have seen. I really don't want God to give me anything. I really want to drive in heaven. I really want to hustle. Why should you feed me and take care of me? I don't want to be taken care of. I love taking care of myself. But anyway, we don't know what is going to happen. But it's going to be glorious. Pleasure of being with God. Imagine the world. You know what I just said? God, just leave the world with this. We are okay. Just remove sin. The moment it is remove sin, no sickness, no cheating, you know what it means? I mean, allow us to look for money. If I even let the little details of you. How many of you, if I tell you the things I like, think I'm a great person, you know, when I have one stomach, I really love one stomach. It gives you this feeling of discomfort, right? When you have a God history, I like when I have small steps, I don't want my leg to break, but I want to straight. I like that pain. It's a bit sweet, you know, when you have to lie and comforted, you know. So sometimes I like the heaven that, but God says He's going to give us pleasure. Jesus told that those who sacrifice on earth will receive it 10 times as much as in heaven. Jesus said, if you make any sacrifice on earth, you will have 100 times in heaven. Why are we giving not 100 times? It means if you build a house of 20 million, if you give 20 million to God, you are going to give 100,000. We are not doing it. When cash flow came and said it's going to give us 20%, all of us are in cash flow office from 4 a.m. Which means we trust cash flow much more than we trust Jesus. Why are we stopping people to come to church? Because they trust physical things much more than they trust spiritual things. Are we together? Christ talked about his treasure. So Christ is our first treasure. Heaven is our second treasure. personal possessions, and that was our tragedy. The question I asked you this morning, what person are you living for? The second is, what place are you living for? And the third is, what possessions are you living for? The Bible says, store up your treasures in heaven. Why? Because it is right, because it will last much, because it will last. You store treasures in heaven. You know, I'm doing so many things in my life, and I know that with my age, I will not live as much as I need. And when you get to my age, you start thinking about when is it going to happen? You're going to leave your car, you're going to leave your house, the dogs, the children, everything you're going to get behind. Go. The Bible says, so don't be impressed with those who get rich and pile of fame and fortune. They can't take it with them. Fame and fortune all get them in life. Just when they think they have arrived and folks praise them because they have made good, they enter the family burial ground. They will never see sunshine again. One day, we will bury you in your land and you will never see sunshine again. That will be the end. It doesn't matter what you have done. Your faith is gone. Your money is gone. That has dead. You are going to be held, trapped in that death. And you are alone, who all believe and live in that bush. You will never see sunshine again. Forever. The danger of storing up treasure is that your whole life filled with the thoughts of inflation, deflation, and devaluation. You know, one of the business I do is to buy and keep dollars. And I made a big amount of money last year. But I suffered loss recently. When the dollar was going up, I was like, okay, let me wait for it. It kept coming down. I said, this is a joke. I'm going to give it down. And then it hit. I keep last Friday, I did some transactions. And then the guy was trying to trick me into selling all the dollars I have. And I refused to sell. I sold her because I gave it was 1,150. I said I'm not selling until 1,001. That was on Thursday. By Friday it was 130. And then now I think it will go to 12, 13 this week. Because the central bank did not inject dollars to the market. And if they don't this week, it will actually go to 13, 14. I think by May the dollar was declared to 13, 14. And then the government want to do it again. So we saw as funders, a lot of us. I think I lost about 8 million naira in the process. That's huge. But don't think of what I lost. It's not I gained plenty. Because I actually bought dollars for 520 and I sold 1,300. And that is how I make it. That is one of my business. And so when you see me flashing, it's not just when you see me chicken, where is it coming from? Praise the Lord. Mammon also influences our thinking faculty. This is the first thing. Mammon must have our thinking. You are thinking, some of us are thinking about just having a good time. Mammon in way of life, finances, likes and fashion. This is what Mammon does to you. When he inflates you, this you can never come and give to God. Everybody you want to attend, everybody you want to do a show. Every occasion, every birthday, every red carpet, you just want to do. I want to be there. As sure as magnet attracts iron, your heart will follow your treasure because money is heart's follow. Anywhere that is money, your heart will follow. There is no way that where your treasure is and your heart will not follow. The Bible says, take care, protect yourself against the spirit of greed. Life is not about beautiful, even when you have a lot. It's only in Nigeria, it's how you appear, not who you are, what you have. We all have to decide how we invest our finances, how we invest our time, family, joy, marriage, beauty, everything. Because all these things revolves around investing yourself in God's kingdom. The question again is, what is your investment option? Is it heaven? Is it earth? Or is it gold? Like we saw the other day, it is possible in heaven. It's possible on earth, but it is not possible in gold. And for those of you who are not here, we say, okay, because the Bible uses the word conjunction, you can also serve God and Mammon. But we said we can serve God with Mammon. Maybe that is what you and I have been doing all through these years. And God, when he was talking to the young rich lad, even though he has given everything he needed to give to the church, God realized that he was serving God with mammon. And the Bible says, those who serve God with mammon will not enter the kingdom of heaven. It will be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. The parable is like a parable of a living treasure. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven is like treasure that a man discovered hidden in the field. In his excitement, he hid it again, and so every reward yet never comes to buy. This is a poor man. And who is this hidden treasure? Jesus Christ. A poor man who doesn't have anything, who has barely to feed. And I like this scripture. Somebody who doesn't have anything, and there are applicants and students here, and those people who receive less than $50,000 salary, this is your category. Or even 100,000, this is your category. When you found Jesus, this is what this man did. He said, I don't have anything. I have a vacated handset. I don't have anything. I have a land that I cannot develop. I have some properties. I have some old suits I can go and sell. And then he sold everything because he found Jesus. That is a perspective. But then also, that is not only the poor man. The Bible says again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant and looking for choice pearls. When he discovered a pearl of great value, so everything for everything. This man is the one that has property in Rayfield, is the one that has 5 filling stations, is the one having 5 houses or even more. He has complex and people are renting. He said, when this man discovered the price value, it doesn't look well for a businessman to close down his 5 houses and go for one. But this is what the Bible is saying: collapse everything and give it to God. Isn't that powerful? The Bible explains the correct perspective we should have about treasures. Lay not up for yourself treasures in heaven, because God is watching your investment option. So, what we are saying, God is watching how you spend your resources. God wants to share your harvest every time of your life. But when we talk about it, we must turn in the harvest for Him. What is the harvest that we return to God? We have harvest thanksgiving. Harvest standing our committee. I'm being a free guest speaker for you this morning. Harvest of family. Harvest of joy. You know what it means when you have a family? It's so sweet when you have a family. Those who can call Lord. I had a Ugandan friend. I traveled to Uganda several times, and I have this friend. He is a Ugandan. He died, I think 1 or 2 days ago. His name is Paul. Who doesn't know his tribe? Paul doesn't know his tribe in Uganda. He doesn't know where it comes from. He doesn't know his family. During the Arab's crisis, his parents were killed. The person that picked him on the street. So he created the moment when you meet Paul and talk to him, you will pity him. Imagine you are here, you don't even know this family you come from, which tribe you come from, which state you come from. You have no idea. When you have a family, it's a big gift. The gift of family, the gift of a job, the gift of children, the gift of salaries, the gift of gifts, the gift of relations, the gift of health, and the gift of protection. You can celebrate that. And the gift. Or you are beautiful, you know you need to come and celebrate God. Celebrate God. Let's read one scripture. A man planted a vineyard, raised 2 tenant farmers, and bought for another company to do several years. At the time of the great harvest, he sent one of his servants to collect his share of the crop. When the farmers attacked the servant and beat him up and sent him back empty-handed. So the owner sent another servant, but also insulted him and beat him up and sent him back empty-handed. The third man was sent. They wounded him and chased him away. What will you do? What will I do? The owner asked himself. I will not know. I will send my church son. Surely they will respect him. But when this tenant farmers saw his son, they said to each other, here comes the day of the estate. Let's kill and get blessing to ourselves. So they dragged him out of the vineyard and murdered him. What do you suppose the owner of the vineyard will do to them? I will tell you what to do to them. He will come, kill those farmers, and leave the vineyards to others. Are we together? Then what does this scripture mean? The stone that the builders have rejected have not become the stone of cornerstone. Everyone who stumbles on that stone will be broken to pieces, and I will crush everyone who falls on them. A man appointed is vineyard who wants the share of the harvest every year, the share of beauty, the share of your children, of your time. We can help because I want to share of that. It's my investment in your life. God has given you a husband. He said, I want to show a husband. You know what it means when you don't have a husband? You know what it means when you have one? You know what it means when you have a children? You are walking straight on your legs because of one issue. Everything. And so, one of the stupid things we do, I come to ask your daughter in marriage. Say, okay, 5 goals. 5 generations of one boy. You give me names. You didn't create your child. You only gave that one. And failure for 25 years. And you are asking for this much. That will not be the end. When I take her out, you expect me to respond to every problem in the family. Not only problem. I'm supposed to be giving you free money because I took away your daughters. On the contrary, you don't think God needs the same. Are we together? So God wants to share. Everything we own will end up here. Christmas and birthday, present cars, multi chairs, clothes, TV share, businesses, properties, barbecue, the family we sacrifices for, the love we share, the things we make, the weddings we attend, the souvenirs, the church, the children we have, all the things will end up here. When God gives us money, it is not so that we can indulge ourselves and spoil our children. No. It is not so that we can restrain ourselves from living God's provision. No. It is so we can give generously. When God gives us money, we often think that it's a blessing of God's grace, but we also know that it is for probably a test. God is testing every single one of you. Every single one of us here, God is testing the resources you have. It doesn't matter whether you're a rich man or a poor man, but God is testing you. As soon as you ask someone, you brought someone from Lantern to come and manage your provision store, you have a supermarket, and that guy, he's a poor boy who didn't have anything, I don't know how you picked it. But just 2 years later, this guy is buying an expensive car and riding, having exotic properties, electronics and gadgets, and eating in local restaurants and big restaurants of this town. What will you do him? What will you do him? Isn't that the wicked boy you got? But let me ask you, maybe one I have the same. Isn't there a point when at his steward we cross the line of reasonable expenses? You and I, you are crossing the line of reasonable expenses every time of your life. And I want you to get this. As God's servants, we are called to be faithful. So when we get our salaries, or when we get our money, don't inflate your value because we don't want the store, we just walk there. You are only a God in that work. You are only a girl in that job. It's not your work, it's God's job. You are only an sales boy. And when you collect the salary, you inflate your value. And when you inflate value, you take your own and you take yours. That is the danger of not studying operations in heaven. Let's do a random checklist of our spendings. Let's look at a low income earner, somebody who earns between 100,000 below 1,000 to 100,000 pounds. Let's look at how much he spends, because he claims to have money. How much do you spend in your 48 years of productive life, 45 years of productive life? So we assume that you have 45 years that you are very, very productive. How much will you spend? If your bill is 500 per day, you will spend 24 million eating in 45 years. The Bible says that the bread and the food will be destroyed. If you cut your hair at 800 per week, you will give that mass of revenue 1.8 million naira in 45 years. If their transport is an average of 600 per day and 5 days in a week, you will give Chekinatek Association of Jobs 7 million 20,000 in 45 years. If they take 2 bottles of coke in a week, whether you take or you give someone, it will be 2.3 million. Even Coca-Cola, giving you coke. They pay an average rent of 3,000, average 3,000 per electricity per month. You will give NEPA, and you don't even like them, 1.6 billion naira. For those who pay rent at 2,000, because you stay in a very poor condition, you give your tenant for giving an empty house, 1 billion. For those who pay 150, for giving an empty house, you give your tenant, your landlord, 6.7 million. Thank you for giving an empty house. For disturbing me every month collecting your rent, this is 6.7 million. Those who pay rent 500,000 will pay 22.5 million for an empty house. Those who pay 1 million rent will pay 40 million in a year. But those who eat chicken, one chicken in a week in their homes, at 8,000 per chicken, you're giving 18 million chicken 48 days, 45 days. Those who an average of 3 ashobis in a year will spend 2.7 million. Are you there? Those who at 50,000, it will be 6.7 million. Those who buy 200 naira recharge card per week spend 468,000 because they don't have money. Those who use 400 will spend 1.9 billion. Those who use 1,005 will spend 3.5 million. And those who use 3,000 will spend 7.7 million. Those who spend 5,000 will spend 11 million. However, if you get 10 naira that you give your children, you could have given about 3,000. The whole of your doctrine. If you give 20, you see it in offering, you have given about 6,000 in your productive life. Those who give 50, you give 169. Those who give 100, you give 388. Those who give 200, you give 468. This is where most of us are. Even those who give 500, just give 1.1. Even if you give 1,000, you will have given only 2 million, less than what you spend for the church class, actually rent. Are we there? Are we there? You do yourself, how much did you spend in supporting weddings last year? How much did you spend in supporting people's weddings? Number one. And what you spend, what you support are what? Reception, drinks, MC, buying of empty chairs, photography. You gave so much. You didn't give that money to church or to missions. You never did. You never went and bought a suit. You are an applicant. You went and bought a suit for 15,000 naira for the wedding of someone. You have never given 5,000 to God. You've never done that. Are we together? How much did you spend on weddings last year? How many people did you buy birthday gifts for and funded their birthday outings just last year and weeks? Funded somebody's birthday gifts here. How many people have you given gifts for that? Somebody gave back. You know, I'm always surprised when somebody gave back and it becomes an emergency for everybody. Pregnant your wife. You know, she has 9 months to give back. And then it becomes a problem to me. I don't know how that works. May God help us. How much do you spend in making your hair? Pay or pay someone to make their hair or bought some hair for them? Are we communicating? How many people did you buy foods for because you think they need them or funded their wardrobe? How many people? Remember? Are we together? Cultural Christianity means to pursue the God we want instead of God who is. It is a tendency to be shallow in our understanding of God, wanting Him to be the gentle grandfather whose sponsors us and let us have our own way. It is testing for God, but on our own terms. It is wanting the God we have underlined in our Bible without wanting the rest of them to. It is good relative and not pursuit. We always want the God we want. You know, if we have a buffet of food and then you pick the one you want, that is what we do. And God is asking us to invest more. What is your investment option all these years? Where have you been laying your treasures? I'm almost going to the end. Remember, Mama doesn't want you to answer the question, how much is enough? Remember last week, the cycle? How much is enough? He wants you to give up on cycle. What man does, he doesn't want you to enjoy open heavens. He doesn't want you to walk with God so that His kingdom will be established your heart. The greatest fact, man, is so that He will make you not to ever walk with God to establish His kingdom in your heart. And I'll give you a few reasons. Mama doesn't want you to be involved in mission because when you do, God's kingdom will be established in your heart. But of course, He gets you to be involved in religious activity. He makes sure you don't get involved in God's law, but you get involved in religious activity. He asks you to buy chairs. That's what Mama wants you to do. He wants to, and these people they are very good with getting the church. He helps you to help build the church. He helps you to sponsor weddings. He helps you to sponsor programs that will get the church that looks okay. He makes you to be showing or showing all the time because it looks churchy. He makes you to give for reception weddings. We want to help that young man. And you know, he makes you to do all these things and showing outdoors and doing parties, doing reception, doing what do you call it, all these ceremony parties. Nothing pushes you to do that. As you agree that you think you are establishing, no, you are doing religion. That's what Mama does to you. As we do that as ECWA members, let's see Mama does to exactly in our church. We have these churches littered all over Nigeria. We have 1,160 churches in this condition. And all of us are here to show worship. This is the case. We have these churches right now. This is how they are. We are only members of churches. We have missionaries manning these churches without food to eat. We are only missionaries. Thank God we will have somebody with 7 children, we need 25,000 naira. That is what my mom is doing to me. You have an ambition. You see that? I can show you hundreds of these. See another one. The bushes. You don't have all of this. See another one. See another one. We went to the Southwest 2 years ago, 2002, 2003. We planted one. We just came back. During this outreach, the most difficult outreach I planned, I was looking for 16 million. I would be there every night. My wife and the other sending messages, asking people to donate. We couldn't get 16 million from 10 million ECWA members for one outreach. Some of us have not gone to outreach once. See, we have outreach in ECWA. People say outreaches, we are bringing too many outreaches. Let me tell you, as an evangelical church, we are going out at the church together. We are going out for outreach once a year for 5 days. We are having an outreach in May. We are looking for 30 million naira. Nowhere to get it. Because the government doesn't have it. We don't have it. And we have planted this church. This is a mission house. We are a missionary. Because we couldn't afford to build a good house for you. I told you about the church I built using my Bible. This is the church. But right now, in this house, we have this mission fields all over the Southwest. And right now, as they are worshiping, they are also worshiping on the space. This is what we have. This is what we did last outreach. We have, and then we have mission schools right now. Fulani people are giving, Muslims are giving their children to school. Let me show you the schools we have so that you know that we are serving Mama. This is school number 1. This is school number 2. This is school number 3. This is school number 4. We have about 15 schools now at body like this. I don't know where to get the money. Because the partners are so many people doing weddings, they are doing reception, they are doing simple parties. Mama said this not us. This is it. I want to think this is another school. Then we have that Fulani spirit. They are saying, come, open the school for us. We don't have the money to open the school. We don't know where to get the teachers. This must happen in Egypt and Fulani people. Let me tell you, our missionaries are crying. One is in the hands of kidnappers. 2 weeks ago, we rescued one. Somewhere in the hands of kidnappers. Some husbands are here. Let me show you one clip. And then I will close. I will show you 2 clips and then we will close. Welcome. Let me show you one.
To wani abu ya faru ran Thursday mun je gona da shi mun aiki to ran Thursday mun da shi ba mu san Fulani sun samu matsala da yaro bandara ba har sun yi fara sun sassare juna to ana na shi aka gan Fulani aka je karan bindiga Fulani a riga sa gari ta lafiya tsakiya shi ne aka kama wannan fara mu kuma ba mu gan juna inda muka rabu a gida dai ba mu gan juna da shi ba har inda Allah ya yi mishi cikawa wadansu an kukkone su an kakkashe su an yayyanka kamar dabbobi to na baba wasu sun yi gudu abinsu sai Fulani sun sa su a gaba a inda ya sare shi a bayan wuyan shi inda ya tare haka duk sun sasare shi amma bai mutu a lokacin ba yana dan numfashin shi sai da na biyo shi na gama da shi ta kyau. To da na ji an ce gashi na ce a inda har an sare ba mai gida to ina karfi kuma sai na fara kuka da kafin mu sake ji labarin wai ayyar ya yi halin shi na cika. Muna tare da baba da ya yi aiki ya kusa retirement saura mishi shekara 3 zai retire sai wannan al'amarin ya zo ya faru. To Allah ya albarkace mu da yaya 8 amma 4 sun rage kuma suna makarantu. Babban ita mai suna Alheri Amos ita ta gama poli a lafiya amma har yanzu ba abin. Na biyu kuma Alhamdu Amos yana kan makaranta a Kagoro ya gama Karus ya koma Kagoro yana digiri nashi. To ya fara kenan kuma sai ga wani al'amari ya faru. Sai ita Hannatu tana school of health to ita ma ta samu admission ta fara kenan sai ga wannan al'amari kuma ya sake ya fara. To na hudu din ta koyi sana'a ne.
When dad is around, he care for us, provide our need, school fees, he give us, and the rest of things. Whenever we ask for something, he provides for us. But now there is no one, so we are just struggling. Nobody to provide our school fees for us and our food. Nobody to provide food shelter for us.
Ba mu da wurin zama. Yanzu na zo ina manaja gidan kanina na. To abun na bi na yi na rasa ya zan yi ga yara makaranta ga rashin wurin zama. Domin babban bukatar da ke gaba kenan musamman makaranta yara. Shi kuma da yana kokari bai so yaro ya zo na ba makaranta. To gashi kuma ba shi ba mu sai da zamu fara.
What is going on now is about the school fees. How am I going to do and pay the school fees? My brother is schooling ECWA Seminary Kagoro and he's resuming to school next month. So there is no way to get the school fees for him. And myself, I'm resuming school next month.
Lokacin da baba yana da rai musamman Fulani ma yadda su yi wani aiki shi duk inda ya shiga da Fulani da kowane irin tarkace sun zama nasa ne. To amma sai na duba irin wannan yanayin irin cutar da yake da su sai kuma karshe su ne kuma sun zama ajiyar shi ko da yaka Allah ne ya bari ya faru haka. Allah yana dan bude mun hanyoyi yana dan taimake ne domin baya don ni na fama da ciwo yara ma sun fara sosai musamman wajen nan na kashe kudi sosai a kanta. Na kuma kira kanin shi na ce gashi ba wanda ya samun baki ba shi na abin na tuna abin yana damuna sosai. Ma'aikata wani muna gargadar su tsaya da gaskiya da ban gaskiya domin littafi ba ta boye ba ta ce idan lokaci ya gabato nan za mu ga waɗannan al'amurori za su yi ta faruwa. To yayin da mun ga yana faruwa ko ba abu za mu yi kusa da Allah yadda za mu yi nasara da kowane gwaji ko jaraba da shaidan zai kawo mana wannan aiki. Domin yayin da mutum Allah yana aiki shaidan bai jin daɗi ya kawo mana da barbaro a wani sun hanyoyi daban-daban domin ya ga kasawa. Waɗanda suna kan aiki Ubangiji ya bishe su ya kuma ba su nasara kuma karfafa su karfafo kada su ga wani abu ya faru domin su da wani yanka abu ya faru da wannan station idan transfer zai ce ba zan je wannan wuri ba to ba haka ba. Yayin da kaga an faru da kaga kai zaka je wurin ma suka ga Allah ya taimako har zaka gama aikin ka wurin na ba wani abin da zai faru. To kada mu razana yayin da mun ga abu ya faru haka ce a'a